I couldn't believe the amount of effort I'd poured into her birthday celebration. From the beginning, I was the one with the idea and I handled every detail, every penny, every late-night planning session. I wanted everything to be perfect for her, my wife of 4 years. She was the woman I'd built my life around. The venue was incredible. A stunning rooftop in the heart of downtown with a view of the skyline that took your breath away. I even arranged for a lavish 5-layer cake, combining chocolate and vanilla, her favorite flavors. There was a champagne tower, the kind you see in movies, stacked with glasses so high they shimmered under the lights. I'd paid extra to have flowers flown in from across the world, exotic ones she'd once said were her dream bouquet. The whole thing cost a fortune, but it didn't matter. This was her night and I wanted her to feel like the most important person in the world. I stood there in my sharpest suit, watching her laugh and mingle with our 60 guests. Friends, family, people we'd known for years. I felt proud. Tired, yes, but proud. She looked stunning in the dress we had picked out together months ago. Her hair glowed in the light and I thought, this is what marriage is about, making her happy. Then, without warning, she took the microphone. I expected some heartfelt words, maybe a thank you for the celebration. Instead, she lifted her glass and started talking about Damon Rivera. Damon Rivera, my guiding light, she said, her voice clear and loud over the crowd. He's been there for me through the roughest times. My heart sank. Damon, her coworker, the guy she'd mentioned once or twice before, always casually like it was nothing. But now I felt it. My chest tightened, but I tried to stay calm, telling myself to breathe. Maybe she was just getting started, maybe she'd mention me next. But she didn't. She turned toward me with a small grin, almost like she was about to tell a joke. Then she handed me a small gift bag. People chuckled, thinking it was some cute moment. I opened it, expecting a watch, a tie, something reasonable. Instead, I pulled out a black designer t-shirt with the word, divorced, emblazoned across it in bold white letters. The room went quiet for a moment, then uncomfortable laughter spread. She grinned as though it was the funniest thing in the world, like she'd just won some sort of comedy award. I stood there, staring at the word, my hands trembling. 4 years of marriage, all the sacrifices, the nights I'd spent working, planning these perfect moments for her, and she thought this was funny? My throat burned, but I didn't react. I could have thrown the shirt in her face or stormed out, but I didn't. Instead, I laid the bag down on the table, pulled out the Cartier bracelet I'd bought for her, something I'd saved up for because I knew she'd love it, and placed it beside the cake, right where everyone could see it. I didn't say a word. Then I turned and walked away. The cold night air hit my face, but I didn't stop. I kept walking, the sound of my shoes clicking on the pavement, my heart pounding. I had no idea where I was going, but I knew one thing for sure. I wasn't going back. Not for her, not for anyone. That t-shirt wasn't just a joke. It was a declaration, and I wasn't going to stand there and accept it. I stayed focused on my work. My phone buzzed an hour later with a text from Mark. Damon quit. He's hustling at work. My heart skipped a beat. Damon, her guiding light, the person she'd toasted to while I stood there holding that t-shirt, he had resigned. I didn't know the details, but it was enough. She had built her whole life around him, leaned on him for support, and now he was gone. I didn't feel bad, but I didn't feel relieved either. I just felt indifferent. I buried myself in work. I loved the silence of late nights at the office, just me and the glow of my computer screen. It gave me space to think. Another call came the next day, this time from Lisa, a mutual acquaintance. She hesitated before saying, she's posting online again trying to get her fans back, but it's not working. People keep bringing up the party, and that t-shirt. I didn't need to hear more. I just let her talk, then thanked her and hung up. She was falling apart and I wasn't surprised. She'd always been great when things were easy, when someone else, me, Damon, whoever, was holding her up. Now, without them, she couldn't seem to stand on her own. Meanwhile, my life was taking off. A week later, Gregory brought me into his office and placed a paper on his desk. You're speaking at a conference next month, he said, his booming laugh filling the room. They requested you. I blinked, unsure at first. Me? He chuckled. Yep, you're killing it lately. People are noticing. I walked out of there feeling like I could conquer the world. A small conference, sure, but it was mine, something I'd earned. Then came the big one, an email from a guy I'd met at a conference years ago. A professor of sorts, offering me the chance to guest lecture at a business conference in Dubai. I glanced at the email, letting the words sink in. I'd gone from the guy who paid for her party to someone being invited halfway across the world. I said yes without hesitation. That night, I met Sasha and Omar at the diner again. Their startup was moving, albeit slowly, but I could feel the momentum. I'd invested a little money, a small chunk from my savings, and they called me their secret weapon. They looked to me for guidance, something I hadn't felt with her in a long time. Back at the apartment, I pinned Dubai to my vision board, right next to Thailand and the house sketches. Kept me grounded, focused. Every morning I ran 6 miles now, my body leaner, my mind clearer. She was fading from my thoughts, her job, her podcast, her online persona all slipping away, and I was rising. Seminars, lectures, startups. The world that once revolved around her was turning in my direction, and I wasn't looking back. I didn't hate her, didn't think about her much at all. But knowing she was struggling while I was succeeding, that felt like justice. The kind of justice I didn't have to fight for.